Listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you could save your life. Not your physical life. Something more fragile. Something more valuable. Your ambition. Your future. Your power. You were taught to share everything with your family. You were told that family is safety. That family is trust. That the people who raised you, who share your blood, who sat at your table, these are the people who will protect your dreams. I need you to stop right now and hear this uncomfortable truth. Some of the most dangerous people in your life wear the faces of people who love you, not because they're evil, not because they hate you, but because they are afraid, and afraid people do something predictable, something Machiavelli warned about centuries ago. They destroy what they cannot control. They diminish what makes them feel small. And they do it with a smile. They do it with concern. They do it while passing you the bread at dinner. You are not paranoid. You are waking up. The world is not divided between enemies and friends. It is divided between those who understand power and those who are consumed by it without ever knowing. Your family sits at that table. And if you have ever felt that suffocating invisible weight when you told someone close to you about your goals, if you have ever watched the light leave their eyes when you mentioned your dreams, you already know what I'm talking about. Today, we are going to enter the shadows together. We are going to walk through 5 secrets that Machiavelli himself would have guarded with his life. 5 categories of information you must, without apology, without guilt, and without hesitation, keep hidden from your family. This is not betrayal. This is survival. Before we go further, if this kind of ruthless, honest truth is what you've been starving for, hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, because the algorithm buries this kind of content, and the people who need it most never find it. Be the one who found it. Be the one who stayed. Now, let's begin. Niccolò Machiavelli was not a villain. He was a man who looked at human nature without blinking. In 16th century Florence, surrounded by betrayal, political warfare, and the collapse of everything he built, he wrote what most people were too cowardly to say out loud. He understood something that will make you uncomfortable. People do not act from love as often as they act from self-interest. Even the people who claim to love you. Even the people who do love you. Love and self-interest coexist. They overlap. And when your success threatens someone's sense of identity, even a mother, even a brother, self-interest will win. Machiavelli warned that a wise man must never fully rely on the goodwill of others, that sharing your plans openly is one of the most dangerous things an ambitious person can do. He wrote that men will always betray you for gain, for fear, or simply out of ordinary human weakness. He was not telling you to become cold. He was telling you to become strategic. There is a difference between a man with walls and a man with armor. Walls keep everyone out. Armor lets you move, lets you fight, lets you love, while keeping your most vital parts protected. Machiavelli was armor, and today, so are you. Secret number 1, your financial situation. Both the struggle and the success. Here is a brutal psychological truth. Tell your family you're broke, and you will be treated like a burden. Tell your family you're winning, and you will be treated like a bank. There is no safe number. There's no amount of money that produces a neutral reaction from people who have watched you grow up as something smaller than what you are becoming. Weak people share financial information because they are seeking validation. They want someone to say, "I'm proud of you," or "I'm sorry, I'll help." They want to be seen. And in that desperate moment of wanting to be seen, they hand over the one weapon that can be used against them most efficiently. What would Machiavelli advise? Silence. Complete, deliberate, unapologetic financial silence. You land a contract. Or you make your first real money. You're excited. You tell your mother. She tells your aunt. Your aunt tells your cousin. Now your cousin needs a loan. Your uncle has an investment opportunity. Your mother starts calculating what you owe for the years she sacrificed. One conversation, one unguarded moment of joy, and suddenly your win becomes everyone else's entitlement. Alternatively, you're struggling. You tell your father. He tells you what you're doing wrong. He uses your vulnerability as proof that his safer path was right. Your struggle becomes his sermon. Money is not a feeling, it is a tool, and tools are kept in the workshop, not displayed on the dinner table. Your financial life is sacred territory. Guard it like a fortress. Type this affirmation in the comments section. My financial journey is mine alone, and I protect it with discipline. Secret number 2, your deepest ambitions and long-term goals. Ambition is fire, and fire needs oxygen to grow. But fire also needs containment, because the wrong wind doesn't just fail to feed the flame, it extinguishes it entirely. Here is the brutal psychological truth. The people who love you the most are often the most efficient at killing your ambitions, because they do it with concern. They say things like, "I just don't want you to get hurt." What's your backup plan? Are you sure that's realistic? Every single one of these sentences is a bucket of cold water thrown onto a flame that hasn't yet become a fire. Why do weak people fail? Because they seek permission. They need the people closest to them to believe before they believe. But then when the closest people don't believe or express doubt, the weak person internalizes that doubt as evidence. They mistake familiar voices for authority. They confuse concern with wisdom. Machiavelli would tell you this: reveal your plans only after they are already in motion. A general does not announce his battle strategy to civilians. He moves, he acts, he wins, and then, only then, does the world see what he was building in the dark. You want to leave your job and build something of your own. You mention it at Sunday dinner. Your father says the economy is uncertain. Your sister says you're being impulsive. Your mother says she worries. And you, who 2 hours ago felt unstoppable, now sit in your car in the driveway wondering if they're right. They are not right. They are afraid. And their fear has nothing to do with your capability. Build in silence. Win in silence. Let success make the announcement that your family would have talked you out of making. Type this affirmation in the comments section. I do not need permission to pursue greatness. Secret number 3, your romantic and sexual life. This one is uncomfortable. Good. Discomfort is where transformation lives. Your intimate life is the most vulnerable part of your identity. The person you love, the way you love, the struggles inside that love. These are not family conversation. They are not dinner table material. And the moment you make them dinner table material, you hand every person at that table leverage over your emotional state. Weak people share too much of their romantic lives because they are lonely. They need witnesses to their love. Or they need someone to confirm that what they feel is real. But witnesses become judges, and judges, especially family judges, have long memories and zero objectivity. Machiavelli understood that personal vulnerability is political leverage. He wrote that a prince who is known too well can be manipulated too easily. The same is true of every human being. When your family knows who you love and how much you love them, they know exactly where to press to move you. You're in a difficult relationship. You vent to your mother. She forms an opinion. The relationship improves, but your mother's opinion doesn't. Now every holiday, every gathering, every phone call carries the shadow of that one vulnerable night when you said too much. The relationship has healed, but the narrative hasn't. Or worse, you share the joy of a new love. And the scrutiny, the comparisons, the questions, they contaminate something that was clean and new and entirely yours. Your romantic life is a private garden. Not every person who claims to love you has earned access to it. Type this affirmation in the comments section. My intimate life belongs to me. Secret number 4, your personal failures, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Failure is not the enemy. Exposure of failure to the wrong audience, that is the enemy. Here is the brutal psychological truth. In a healthy world, you could tell your family when you fall, and they would help you stand. But this is not a perfect world. This is the world Machiavelli wrote about, the real one. And in the real world, your failures become permanent definitions in the minds of people who already have fixed ideas about who you are. But why do weak people fail? Because they confuse confession with healing. They believe that if they say the painful thing out loud to family, it will hurt less. Sometimes it does, but often, especially with family, it simply gives the pain a permanent address in someone else's memory. Your mother will remember the business that failed. Your brother will bring up the relationship that ended. Your father will reference the job you lost, not to hurt you, but because that is how human memory works. Our failures live longer in the minds of others than our successes do. Machiavelli would say, never let them see the wound until it has already become a scar. Weakness displayed is weakness exploited, not always with malice, but always with consequence. You go through a period of real darkness, lost and scared. You open up to your family. They see you at the bottom. Years later, even after you have rebuilt, even after you have become unrecognizable from that broken version of yourself, there are family members who still look at you with that careful, slightly worried look. They are still seeing the version of you that was in pain. You have evolved. Their image of you has not. Process your failures privately, with a therapist, a trusted mentor, or in silence. Let family see the outcome of your resilience, not the raw, unfinished interior of your becoming. Type this affirmation in the comments section. I process my pain in private and emerge in public as the proof that I survived. Secret number 5, your spiritual, philosophical, or ideological evolution. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. And if you are, that is the real problem. And here is the brutal psychological truth. Growth is threatening, especially to people who have chosen stagnation. When you evolve, when you change your beliefs, your values, your worldview, your understanding of yourself, you become implicitly threatening to everyone in your environment who has not evolved alongside you. Your change makes their stillness visible, and humans do not like to feel still, so they attack the change. They call it a phase. They call it arrogance. They say you've changed, and they say it like an accusation. Weak people share their spiritual and philosophical evolution too soon because they want their family to evolve with them. They want company on the journey, but you cannot force someone to transform. You can only walk the road and trust that your light will guide those who are ready. What would Machiavelli advise? He would say, a man who publicly contradicts the beliefs of those around him creates enemies unnecessarily. Let them believe what they believe. Walk your path quietly. Your evolution does not require their endorsement. You undergo a real shift in your spiritual life, your politics, your philosophy, your understanding of identity and power. You bring it to the family gathering, hoping for dialogue. What you get is defensiveness, arguments, old wounds reopened under the cover of ideology. You leave feeling more alone than when you arrived. Your inner world is not a debate. It is not a campaign. Your beliefs, your growth, your evolving understanding of this strange and brutal and beautiful life. These belong to you. Share them with those who seek, not with those who are settled. Type this affirmation in the comment section. My evolution is sacred. Look at where you started this video, and look at where you are now. You came in perhaps with guilt, perhaps with the sense that protecting yourself from your family somehow made you a bad person, a cold person, a person who doesn't love. I want to shatter that story right now. Protecting your power is not betrayal. It is wisdom. The most loving thing you can do for the people around you is to become the strongest, most realized version of yourself. And you cannot do that while hemorrhaging your most vital information to people who, however much they love you, are not equipped to hold it. Machiavelli did not survive the political fires of Florence by being open. He survived by being strategic, by understanding that the most powerful weapon a person possesses is not money, not status, not influence. It is the contents of their own mind, guarded carefully, released deliberately. You are not building walls. You are building armor. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming intentional. You are not abandoning your family. You are choosing yourself, perhaps for the first time in your life. The monster in the shadows that you have been afraid of this whole time, that is not your enemy. That monster is your power, undomesticated, unfiltered, unafraid. Stop shrinking it to make others comfortable. The version of you that is rising, the strategic, protected, deliberate, powerful version. That person does not need approval. That person does not perform vulnerability for validation. That person moves in silence. Executes with precision and allows the results to speak in a voice louder than any family dinner conversation ever could. You are not weak. You are conditioned to be weak, and conditioning can be broken. It starts today. It starts with these 5 secrets. It starts with the decision, ruthless, Machiavellian, and entirely yours, that your power belongs to you. Guard it, feed it, and let it burn. Type this affirmation in the comment section. I am a strategic, protected, and powerful force. If this video shifted something in you, if something clicked, if you felt seen in a way you didn't expect, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more ruthless truth. And remember, the ones who win are not always the loudest. They are the most deliberate,